Hey guys, Dave with Moniology here. Hope everyone is having a great day. Today is February 20th, 2018, and this is part 7 and the last of the biotech sector stock review series. Let's have a look at what we've got in the sector that's worth taking a look at. So starting with OREX, Sorrento Therapeutics. This looks like it's a name that wants to really start to rally. The MACDs are starting to curl higher. You see it's still in a downtrend since 2017. But you're starting to see a move in RSI here that started with an 18% move so far this week. If this can take out this downtrend here, this would be for us a marker to buy along with probably a price target around that 250 area, which coincides with that 50 EMA. So for the time being, this is just a day trade. We don't do that, but it's definitely something that can run up really quickly to that 125 zone on a day trade level. If it breaks that, that's when the swing entry becomes valid. OWC Pharmaceutical Research Corp, OWC ticker symbol. This is one that we currently own for full disclosure. This one has a great fundamental story, but we're just looking at the technicals here. It broke out of this downtrend that it was in since basically February of last year. It's been consolidating. Broke out of this in October. It's been consolidating above that middle Bollinger Band. It looks ready to it's really coiled here. Looks ready to rock and roll. If this can break above 50 cents and it's finally starting to break above the RSI level. Now it's done that before here and pulled back, so no guarantee, but if it can have this one big spike, similar to what we saw here, this can take us to 75 to 85 cents here, and then ultimately can really take off. Last time around this year in February, late February, this is when it moved from about 55 cents all the way to $3. Not saying that that's going to happen here, but it's very possible that there could be a very sharp move getting ready to come to fruition. PTIE, Pain Therapeutics, another name that's been basing for a while here. It made a massive move from 379 to 1280. Now it's basically consolidating in this bullish flag correction here. Still above the middle Bollinger Band. I like that it's above that 60 level on RSI, which is important to hold. It happens to be the level where our price really broke down last time around from 21. So this is going to serve as very strong support. If it holds, then you want to see this start moving to the upside. You got volume that's doing very well, and for the short-term trade, this can make a move towards $8 in not too distant future. For the long-term investor, you want to see this break above that 785 zone. If it does, then that's probably a confirmation that this wants to head higher, probably as high as $15 to $17. So a lot of upside here if it can break out from that 785 level. PFNX, Phoenix. This is one that we like. We pointed this out in previous videos. It's now consolidating above the middle of the Bollinger Band on the weekly. It's being accumulated here, and it just looks like it's coiling now that it's above the 50 on the RSI level. It looks like it wants to really make a run. It needs to break above this $4 zone, which also coincides with the 50 weekly EMA at 416. If it breaks above that, that's your cue that this really wants to move higher. So keep an eye on this one. Regulus Therapeutics, RGLS. This is one that we've owned, been in and out of for the last year. Obviously, it's been just going up and down, up and down, up and down. But what you see here, even though the price has been basically flat, momentum has definitely been building to the upside. At some point, this is going to really break out. You want to see this break out above this downtrend, above $2, and then it can really create a run towards 4, possibly 6, or even higher. So keep an eye on this one. This can make a run towards 2 very, very soon. RVP, Retractable Technologies. This one, again, similar theme. It's been basing out of this bottom above the middle Bollinger Band. Its MACDs are basically at 3-year highs. The volume is really starting to pick up. The momentum is starting to pick up. We really like this. There's positive divergence here. What do I mean by that? Well, RSI here at 87 cents is higher than when RSI was at around 148. So that's what you want to see. You want to see momentum leading price. If this can break out above the $1 and coincides with that 50 EMA around 95 cents, this can really fly. Certainly to do a gap fill of 125, but ultimately this can really fly high to 250, not too distant future. What do we got here? So we've got Precision Therapeutics, AIPT. This one here is been in a downtrend since 2016. Kind of expand this particular downtrend line here, and we're here today. We hit a low of 83 cents, and a couple things. Well, one is we saw when it hit 83 cents, there was positive divergence. What do I mean by that? Well, RSI was 30, which is very low, but it was at the same level as RSI was when price was at 250. So 83 cents, RSI 30, 250, RSI 30. So that's positive divergence. Made a nice move out of this downtrend, and now it's basically consolidating. And from our perspective, this is a bullish flag. If this can break above that, I would say that 150 area right around here, this can really make a run, certainly towards the 50 EMA of around 313. Sorrento Therapeutics, SRNE. This one has done really beautifully since it bottomed out in basically the summer of last year. Had a strong move here above the 50 weekly moving average, corrected in a bullish flag above the breakout zone, but still above the middle Bollinger Band. Successfully held that area, and then boom. Now it's been basically in an Eiffel Tower straight up. So the question is, can it hold this 200 weekly EMA around that 750 area? If it can consolidate here just a little bit while longer, it can really take out this 10 level. If that takes out the 10 level, there's a lot of green sky out here. There's really not much resistance until you get, excuse me, until you get to that 27 zone. So we really like the long-term potential in this stock, especially if it breaks out above that 10 zone. SNSS Pharmaceuticals, SNSS, another one that basically it's kind of had this V-shaped bottom. It hit a low of 182, and then it's just basically been going up ever since. Its MACDs are at 3-year highs. This is something that we want to see. The money flow is very positive. The accumulation is doing very well. I mean, this is a stock that certainly will hit 750. It's possible it can go as high as 1250 or even the gap fill area at that 20 area. But first things first, it needs to show that it can break above 750, and it's going to get challenged by that 200 EMA of 981. If it can break through that, then there's green sky ahead. But this is one that you definitely want to look at. Tandem Diabetes Care, TNDM. This is one of our patrons pointed this one out to us. We've been following this particular name for a while. It's been going down despite having very positive fundamental news. A lot of institutions have been buying this name, so we like this on a fundamental basis. But most importantly, on a technical basis, it broke out of this downtrend here in early 2018. It's been consolidating above this breakout zone, and it looks like it's starting to set up a move towards the 5 area. It's been building positive divergence here. Its price has been basically flat. RSI has been moving up, so now it's above that 38 level, which is very important. It looks like it wants to make a run towards 50. If it does, we'll likely see $5 in the not too distant future. A couple more names: Trans in TRX, TRXC, one that really bottomed out here in May of 17 from 45 cents all the way to 5. It's been consolidating above this breakout zone, bullish flat correction, and it kind of consolidated to fill this gap right over here. Notice it rallied from about 153 all the way to 212. So this gap fill is very common, and now it's finding support here. Most importantly, it found support at that breakout zone. So there's a breakout right over here, and that coincides with this level of RSI, and that's where we found support so far. So if we can break out above this correction trend line here, then likely we move higher to retest that 5 zone, possibly breaking out thereafter. So keep an eye on TRXC. Finally, XTNT Medical Holdings, XTNT. This one looks like it's poised to break out of this downtrend here that we've seen since basically July of this year. Now MACDs are curling higher, volume is really moving up here. So if this breaks, and also we're above the 50 level on RSI with positive divergence. So if this breaks, the next logical target is that 10 zone, followed by a break of that area, probably takes us all the way to 20. So there are a lot of opportunities here in this watch list. Make sure you do due diligence. This is for educational purposes only, but I do want to point out some of the names that are worth considering for your portfolio. Guys, if you haven't done so already, please consider pledging on Patreon for the work that we do here on your behalf. We got a new patron today, so we really appreciate you helping us out here, and I look forward to continued videos on your behalf and continued support from the community. Thanks, and have a great day.